Welcome to the Real Sports Repo. I am with my partner, Dion Johnson. I am Joshua Sears. These are our Week 5 picks. Dion currently 0-2. I am 2-0. I have a feeling you have a chance to catch up this week as I went out on a limb on a lot of games, took a lot of upsets, but we'll see where we're going to go. You're going to give some info on some of the games before you make your pick. I'll make my pick, and we'll go on from there.
Let's go.
So the first game we're going to talk about is Philadelphia and Buffalo.
I don't know what to say about this because Buffalo lost by 3 points to the Cincinnati Bengals, who have a great defense, and Stevie Johnson seems to possibly gonna have a field day with this Eagles secondary. So for this one, I am going to go out on a limb and take the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to say Stevie Johnson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Fred Jackson get it done.
On that game, I agree with you. I am going with Buffalo. Kansas City at Indianapolis.
Well, this is a hard one because Kansas City is 1-3. The Colts are 0-4. But from what I saw last week from Curtis Painter, I am going to take the Indianapolis Colts to get their first win of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are just hurting right now on defense. They don't have Eric Berry, which was their catalyst on defense. They don't have Jamal Charles, their catalyst on offense, and they just don't really look too well. They played a good game last week and got a win over the Vikings with Dwayne Bowe having a great game, Matt Castle throwing in the ball and whatnot. But I don't see a streak of 2 games being won for the Chiefs anytime soon. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts, Curtis Painter, to get his first NFL win.
Back-to-back games where we agree. I take Indianapolis as well. Next game, Arizona and the Vikings.
This is a battle of 2 teams who are almost struggling to find their identities. Arizona found a good identity last week with Beanie Wells. He ran the ball pretty well, had over 100 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Kevin Cobb still had a nice amount of yards through the air, but no passing TDs. Larry Fitzgerald seems to get a little lost in the mix when Kevin Cobb isn't getting him the ball. So I really am going to have to go ahead and take the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go ahead and go against the grain and say that the Vikings get their first win. I figure AP is going to run all over this Arizona Cardinals defense, and I think that Donovan McNabb should be able to get on the same page. If not, instead of pondering about Christian Ponder should start.
And you might as well get Christian Ponder ready because I am going with the Arizona Cardinals. Next game we've got Seattle at New York.
Well,
Giants.
The Giants. As Berman would say, the G-Men.
The New York Football
Giants.
Giants.
I'm going to take the New York Football Giants in this one. I don't see any reason for Seattle to be stopping much. I think Eric Berry is a great product, but he's on a bad team. I don't see Seattle putting up enough points to be able to beat the New York Football Giants. I see Brandon Jacobs running all over this front 7. I see Hakeem Nicks beasting it out and taking the ball downfield and snatching it from anybody who decides to try to grab it from him. The man wears triple XL size gloves, which means his hands are massive. So the ball almost disappears in him. Seattle, you have no chance.
And for that game, I agree with you. I go with the New York Football Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Next game we're going to talk about, Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, in that game, it's really hard to call because you can't count the Steelers out. Like I said before, it's the first quarter of the season's over with, and they're only 2-2. But so are the Titans. I'm gonna go ahead and take Tennessee here. Chris Johnson finally broke the 100-yard mark last week. Matt Hasselbeck's looking like Matt Hasselbeck when he was in Seattle and in his glory years in his heyday. And they just look good right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Tennessee Titans here.
All right, and I went ahead and I took the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hoping for some home cooking in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next game we've got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers.
Well, the hard part for this is I love Cam Newton. He's come on great as a rookie. But Drew Brees at home doing his thing with Lance Moore and all those receivers and throwing the ball all over the place as he usually does. I don't see Carolina winning this game. They may make it close, but I don't see them winning. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints here.
See, on that one, I disagree with you. I see it being a close game, but I see Carolina in the last few minutes coming out with a 3-point victory. And the last time I called for a 3-point victory was Buffalo and the Patriots. Buffalo ended up with a 34-31 win. Shocked the world, shocked my partner. So I'm calling it again, a 3-point victory for the Carolina Panthers. So the next game we're going to talk about is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This should be a good one. Bengals have a good D. Jaguars have a great running back in Mojo. I'm gonna take Mojo and the Jacksonville Jaguars to get back on the game and take things over. This will be a battle of two rookie quarterbacks in Andy Dalton and Blaine Gabbert. I don't see Gabbert doing a lot of passing. I see them relying more heavily on Maurice Jones-Drew and his legs to be able to get the job done. Maybe a pass here or a pass there, but I'm going to say 70% run and 30% pass for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And on the other side of the ball for Andy Dalton, it's nothing against him, nothing against the team. I just feel like Jacksonville's going to pull the win out.
Cincinnati, for me, they had an impressive victory over the Buffalo Bills. But to me, that's all they have to claim to fame this year. Not enough for me. I'm going with Jacksonville as well. Next game, Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans.
Even with Andre Johnson out, I'm still going to go with the Houston Texans here. I think that they should be able to hold DMC down and, keep him from running all over them. I do see Arian Foster having a great game. Matt Schaub still has a few weapons. And Owen Daniels is his number one target with Andre Johnson being out. So I do see the Houston Texans pulling this one off.
And I have to disagree with Andre Johnson, the big threat receiver, being out, and Jacoby Jones being your number one receiver. I'm sorry, I had to go with the Oakland Raiders. They're on a roll right now. They lost to the Patriots, but they beat the Jets. I mean, they're right up there. And I'm going to have to go with Oakland to upset Houston at home. Next game, we've got Tampa Bay, San Francisco 49ers.
Well, Tampa Bay played an okay game on Monday night. Kept it pretty close. LeGarrette Blount did what he usually does. He ran all over the place and had a great game. But this is the 49ers defense who does not let people run on them. Their secondary may be a little suspect with the yardage they give up, and yes, they've caught a few picks this year, but their front seven is solid. You forget, Shady McCoy had 9 rushes for 18 yards last week. That's nothing. So I don't see LeGarrette Blount running all over anything, and if LeGarrette Blount isn't running all over anything and trying to punch touchdowns into the end zone, then I don't see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming out here and winning. No offense to anybody on that team. I just see the 49ers taking a better shot at this, and hopefully Alex Smith can help them produce like he did last week with the passing game, and hopefully Frank Gore continues to have more 100-yard games.
Well, with that secondary being suspect, you're working with Josh Freeman and Mike Williams. But I'm still giving the edge to the San Francisco 49ers. Only because, as you said, Patrick Willis, that's enough for me right there. Paris Harrelson, I mean,
yeah,
you got to stay away from that.
Yep.
I think without being able to run the ball, I don't think Josh Freeman and Mike Williams is going to be enough. So I went ahead and I took the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, Jets and the Patriots.
Jets and the Patriots. This is a hard one because the Jets have been struggling with that offensive line. Nick Mangold is set to return in this game, but how good will he be coming off of that injury with that high ankle sprain? So that remains to be seen. Hopefully that offensive line can get right back into the flow of things and continue to protect Sanchez. If they do, they can win. If they don't, they'll lose. But I'm going to have to give the edge to the New England Patriots strictly based on the fact that I just don't see anybody over there stopping Wes Welker. The kid is just unbelievable. He's leading the league in receiving, and he just continues to destroy anybody that tries to guard him. So I'm going to have to give the edge to New England Patriots as much as it hurts me to say that because I love Mark Sanchez.
And I went ahead and I rolled with the Patriots as well. Just too strong. Next game, the Chargers and the Broncos.
Chargers and Broncos is a simple Chargers. End of discussion. Don't have to say anything else. Chargers.
And I went with Phillip Rivers and Vincent Jackson and the San Diego Chargers myself. After the showing that the Broncos put on in Green Bay, it's hard. It's not going to be as bad, but it's hard to take the Broncos after what they went through.
Get Akeem Ayers a little bit of help. I'm sorry, not Akeem Ayers, Von Miller. Get Von Miller a lot of help because he's going to need it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Akeem Ayers needs some help in Tennessee as well. Next game, rematch of the NFC divisional game last year between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Wild card game, not divisional game. What's going on with that game?
Shootout. Guaranteed shootout. Matty Ice is going to throw the ball, and Rodgers is going to throw the ball. There's going to be a shootout and a showdown. This is going to be a wild, wild west effort, and whoever draws quickest and fastest and shoots their man down is going to win. It's going to be a shootout, but I'm going to have to go with the Green Bay Packers. They probably might possibly be the only other undefeated team, the only undefeated team in the league after this week coming up, but I'm going to take the Packers.
Well, you see, my problem with that is you say undefeated. Since Matt Ryan was drafted, regular season games at home. Regular season, not postseason. Regular season games at home. Matt Ryan is undefeated.
Matt Ryan will lose his first home game this week.
I disagree. I say the Packers will lose their first season game this week. That's Sunday Night Football. Next is the big Monday Night Football game. The defense of the Chicago Bears coming in to face the defense of the Detroit Lions. Lions and Bears. Oh, my.
Okay, Lions and Bears. Okay, here's a little tidbit for you. A bear handles his own business, but a lion kicks back and let the lionesses go hunting. They do all the fighting. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Detroit Lions in this one to keep on rolling. I just don't see the Bears' O-line holding up against Ndamukong Suh, Kyle Van Bosch, and wait a minute, isn't Nick Fairley supposed to start this week?
He is expected to start.
So you got a front three right there. You got to be afraid of. And who's going to cover Megatron? I'm going to say it's Charles Tillman.
Yes.
It's going to be Charles Tillman.
Yes, and he will get a couple of pass interference calls. Offensive pass interference.
Charles Tillman. No more flopping this week. No little chump moves. Oh, he hit me. I'm going to fall. Ooh. All that crap. You save that. Okay? Because Megatron will jump in the air higher than you will and quicker than you will, and he will bring that ball down. There will be no more ball on the ground like it was last year, and they called the call last year and gave you the little win. You guys got lucky. Detroit Lions will pull this one out. Matt Stafford, Megatron. Pretty much I'm going to start calling Matt Stafford Starscream because Megatron always had a sidekick, and his sidekick is going to be Matt Stafford, a.k.a. Starscream, because no matter what, he's always there. And as long as Starscream is healthy, Megatron will continue to catch touchdowns.
Green Bay, as I said, against Atlanta, they're getting their first loss of the year. So no more undefeated teams in the league. Detroit, all I got to say is bear down, Chicago Bears. Make every play clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bears. put up a fight with a mic so fearlessly. We'll never forget the way you rule the nation with your team formation.
This is the Sports
Bear
Repo.
down,
We thank you
Chicago
for joining us for our
Bears,
picks.
and let
we are
them
done
know
hearing
why
this
we're wearing
horrible
the
song.
crown.
Detroit Lions
You're
will
the pride
win.
and
No one
joy
else
of
will lose
Illinois.
in the
Chicago
discussion.
Bears, bear down. Thank you so much.